All right, questions 1 through 7 on the ACT math section. Number 1, the numbers 1 through 15 were each written on individual pieces of paper, one number per piece. Then the 15 pieces of paper were put in a jar. One piece of paper will be drawn from the jar at random. What is the probability of drawing a piece of paper, a single piece of paper, with a number less than 9 written on it? So first off, this is question number 1. So even if you struggle with probability, we know this is going to be the easiest possible probability question because it's number 1 and the Math ACT always gets harder as we go. So we know there's 15 total pieces. So with probability, the total number of outcomes goes at the bottom in our denominator, 15. This problem, we want to know, okay, if they pull out a single piece of paper, what's the probability a number less than 9 is written on it? Notice it doesn't say 9 or less. It says a number less than 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 numbers out of 15 that have a number less than 9 written on it. So that's E. Number 2, which of the following expressions is equivalent to negative 4x to the third minus 12x to the third plus 9x squared? So I see here pretty quickly, we've got like terms right here. Negative 4 minus 12. You add the numbers and keep the sign. So that's negative 16x to the third plus 9x squared. We always write the biggest exponent first. So we can quickly rule out this one and this one because it's got to have 2 terms. Oh, and you know what? We just see the right answer here. We just had to combine the like terms and identify that right answer. Number 3, when x equals 2, what is 10 plus 3, parentheses 12 divided by 3x? So I'm going to do this first with no calculator and then quickly with a calculator. So we want to work our way inside out with these parentheses. So the 3 times the 2 becomes 6. And we've got 12 divided by 6. So now we just have a 2 inside the parentheses. Remember, order of operations, PEMDAS, means we're going to multiply before we add. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 10 is 16. Now, if you struggle with questions like this, just because it's easy to make a little mistake, there's a handy button on the calculator, this stow button. So what we can do is, since x equals 2, we're going to hit 2, stow, and then the x button. And this permanently stores 2 for x. Hit enter to actually make that storing happen. So now what we can do is we can just type in the problem exactly like it looks. The parentheses and all. And this only works if you stored a value therein for 2, hit enter, 16. And this isn't going to mess anything else up that you do later on unless the problem says store another number for x and you want to change that number. If you want to change that number, if you want to change it to 3, 3 stow x, enter, boom, you're good. But again, this won't mess you up for any other math problem later on. All right, number 4, absolute value is distance from 0. Remember, before we take the distance from 0, we need to simplify what's on the inside. So 6 minus 4, I'm going to write it down here, is 2. Absolute value of 2 minus 3 minus 8 is negative 5. So the absolute value of 2 is just 2 because it is 2 units from 0 on the number line. The absolute value of negative 5 is positive 5 because it is 5 units from the number line. But that minus sign was not in the absolute value symbols. So it just comes down, 2 minus 5 gives us negative 3. All right, number 6. Of the 180 students in a college, 1/4 of the students earned an A. 1/3 of the students earned a B. And then the rest of the students earned a C. So no D's, no F's. How many students earned a C for the course? So 1/4 of them earned an A. So we just need to take 1/4 times 180. But really all that is 180 divided by 4 to save time. So that's 45. So 45 A's. B's, what's 1/3 of 180? So same thing. We could do 180 times 1/3, but it's just easier to do 180 divided by 3. So 60 got a B. So 60 plus 45 is 105. We had 180 total students, and it said the rest earned a C. Probably do this rest of this math in your head. 180 minus 105 is 75. So 75 earned a C. Number 7, again, don't be intimidated. It's only question 7. It doesn't mean it's super easy, but it also doesn't mean it's not impossible. The number of fish F in Skipper's Pond at the beginning of each year can be modeled by the equation f of x, remember, same thing as y equals 3 times 2 raised to the x power, where x represents the number of years after 2000. So for example, x equals 0 represents the beginning of the year 2000. 1 represents the beginning of the year 2001, and so forth. So according to the model, how many fish were in Skipper's Pond at the beginning of the year 2006? So this just corresponds to x equals 6. So it's 3 times 2 raised to the 6th power. So 3, we don't even need the parentheses. The raised to button 6. Just be careful typing that in. We get 192.